What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper. Just kidding. I've been listening to a lot of Call Her Daddy lately, but today we're talking all about the Nintendo Switch playtest thing that is happening, because apparently it's leaked. Oh no, who would have thought? It's leaked, chat, and guess what? We might be getting a Nintendo MMO, a massive multiplayer online Zelda, Mario, Splatoon. I don't know, so let's get into it. So I'm just going to read you guys a little article from The Verge real quick, just so that we are all on the same page with what is happening. So, Nintendo has updated the official website for its mysterious Nintendo Switch playtest program today, privately, revealing more information to participants about what it entails. So we all know that it takes 2.2 gigabytes of free space, and participants didn't actually sign an NDA, which a lot of people think they did, but Nintendo requested in the playtest terms and condition that users refrain from sharing any details about it, which obviously that doesn't really work for like random people on the internet. They're not going to abide by that kind of stuff. Like Twitter user, Elon Lover 69 is not going to be out here protecting the interest of Nintendo. If you gave it to content creators, I'm sure it would be different because they don't want to, tarnish that relationship between you guys. But I think when you're giving it to all these random people and the anonymity that online provides, people are not going to not share every ounce of information, and data leakers or data miners are going to go in that baddie and leak the entire thing, and that ended up happening pretty much exactly. Nintendo is developing an MMO, right? That's what we're seeing. It's their first ever test into what, a possible MMO could look like. I will say before we get too far in this, I can't show any imagery, and that is just because Nintendo is taking things down that show energy or show any photos of what the game looks like on the inside. But if you're really curious, you can check it out on Twitter. Just search it up. It will literally search up Nintendo MMO. It'll pop up with photos. I just cannot put anything out here because, hey, Nintendo, I would love to be a Nintendo brand ambassador. I would kill it, by the way. I'd take that with a badge of honor, and I'd live up to it in every sense of the word. But the goal of this MMO is to work with others to fully develop a massive, expansive planet by utilizing creativity and framed resources. Players will encounter new lands, enemies, and resources as they progress and utilize beacons that create zones to develop the environment around where they're placed. These beacon zones are personal. Players can only move, lift, or edit items in zones they have placed and can't edit anything within someone's beacon. So, huge world, everybody gets a beacon, everybody's got their own space, but there is also a community space where everybody can edit everything else, you know what I mean? So that is pretty cool. I like what they did there. Obviously, it sort of sounds right now, I would say like, God, what is that Planet game? What is that Planet game? Not Outer Wilds, it's literally the other one. But there's also a separate social hub called the Dev Core where players can level up, obtain items, and interact with each other. Nintendo also describes UGC features, which means user-generated content, which it means it'll be similar to things like how Fortnite has all the user-generated things down below, like the TikToker tycoons and the YouTuber tycoons, and honestly, chat, I'm embarrassed to say how much time I spend in those, you know what I mean? But also think of platforms like Roblox, where it's like the main draw of that is the user-generated content, the games within Roblox, so the games within a game. Nintendo is seemingly going to have their own sort of platform like that, which I think is really smart and makes a lot of sense with where games are turning right now. What I will say about all of this is I think this is a huge test. I think that regardless, this game in the state that it is in right now is not going to come out anytime soon. I think they're just testing the idea of, can our servers handle everybody being online in this massive multiplayer online thing where it's like, they're just testing, right? They're not doing anything too crazy at this exact moment. I would imagine things like, if you can't put an MMO into like your headspace, imagine things like World of Warcraft, right? Wow, that's probably the biggest, successful MMO out there. Things where you can just get on and you play with your friends and you go around and you do this kind of shit, which would be awesome. I would love to see Nintendo's take on that. I'm really hoping that it is either a new IP that's a bit more fleshed out than something like this, and I wouldn't love like a planet exploring thing. Like, I'd love to see them do something a bit different. Like, if they took Splatoon and made that an MMO, I would lose my mind. Other things that do MMOs are like Dungeons and Dragons Online, which is a phenomenal MMO. My dad used to play that one a lot. It's a really good one. That MMO could fit kind of well, I think, into something like The Legend of Zelda. You know what I mean? But I don't know if they would do that because there'd be like multiple links at one time. But if they want to explore an MMO, if they use one of their title characters, that's how you get that super successful. Regardless, I think an MMO is very, very smart right now because with things on the rise like streaming and all of these YouTubers and content creators, it is smart to do something like this because it can explode it into popularity. I mean, WoW would not be nearly as popular as it is, I think, without the streamer, realm around it. And so, like, if Nintendo can make a game that capitalizes on that type of excitement, I think it's really, really promising and really smart of them regardless. The characters in this game itself are kind of blocky looking. A lot of people have made the comparison to Minecraft, as does this article. And so I could also see something sort of Minecraft adjacent that Nintendo wants to get into because, you could have realms on Minecraft and it's basically the same type of vibe where everybody's just collectively in this one world sort of working together, which I would love to see Nintendo's take on, of course. And yeah, I'm just excited for what this could possibly mean. I want to reiterate that I really don't think that this game right now is coming out. I think that it wouldn't be smart for them to experiment so much with this brand new genre that they've never taken a step into with something like this. Because you kind of have to make a new IP that really capitalizes on that potential and looks fucking cool. They didn't really get into the shooter genre until they came around with Splatoon, and now Splatoon is a massive hit for them, and it's because it has that style. It has that Nintendo flair to it. This game seems, very basic right now. And so, I can only assume that we will be, probably waiting a while to see this next thing come out on the Nintendo Switch too. I'd love to see what their version of like a Roblox adjacent, Fortnite adjacent game could be. From my experience with all of that kind of stuff, most user-generated content for that sucks. You know what I mean? It's just not very enjoyable to play. It's great for kids because it's like never-ending content, but it's kind of just like crap. So I'd love to see how they curate it and all that kind of shit and how they operate with it because I think that is really important for the success of this game. But yeah, I can see this coming out maybe in a couple years for the Nintendo Switch 2, hopefully being a full-fledged thing. I still cannot get over the fact that they just did this and threw it on the Switch for no reason. Like, the fact that they trusted the public not to say anything, and of course they did. Like, I would love to see, like, what the meetings were like, right? Was it like, okay, we know they're gonna do this, we just like to ask them to not? Or, like, was it like, no, they're not gonna do it. If we ask them to not, they won't do it. Because, like, come on, guys. Also, like I said, I can't really show any, pictures or anything because I don't like that. But if you're curious, there are ways to find it. Nintendo MMO, search that baddie up on Twitter. You will get it pretty quickly. There's also articles that talk about it that link photos, so you can see what it looks like. It doesn't look terrible, it just looks very, very basic, and so I'd love to see an expansion on all of these ideas with a full-fledged game in the future. As a whole, though, Nintendo MMO sounds absolutely legendary, and I'm so excited for what this could possibly mean for the future. I love when they experiment with new genres, and they just test the limits of what Nintendo could be known for. It's always so exciting, and yeah. Those are all my thoughts. What do you think of the Nintendo MMO? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. I have 2 videos coming out this week because I missed last week, so I apologize. But I'll see you guys in this video. So bangers vibe. It's a good time. Why was I gone? I got pretty hurt. I'm okay now. My face was just fucked up for a second, okay? But check out this video. So bangers vibe. It's a good time. I will see you over there. Goodbye.